Yes, sir. I am back with another episode of the AWOL podcast. Thank you, everybody, for rocking with me. You already know how it goes. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate every single one of y'all. but uh, but yeah, man, these episodes have been sporadic. So, and I know that. You know what I mean? I know that. But you know, it is what it is, right? What are you gonna do? But normally, sometimes I used to end these solo episodes with a verse. So I think this one deserves it up front. Uh, yeah, something fresh on the mind. Damn, look at this. Hold up, see? I have to hit that homie back. Uh, see, that's a homie I rock with. But in life, sometimes you have people that you chill with, and you're like, man, I think this is enough. And then there's homies that you chill with, you're like, you just need a break, right? It could be whoever, right? And then there's ones that you're like, damn, that pass. And then you start to think like, damn, I should have been a better friend, or I wish they were still here. You know what I mean? Life is crazy when it comes to society and your own little circle that you live in. You know what I mean? But let's start it off with this one. Depending on the weather, we could get up on the weekend. But by the end of the week, the weather changes. It depends. If you wake up in the morning and you're trying to dodge friends that you feel did you wrong and it's too late to make amends, you don't want to sit at a table and break bread with them. Theoretically, the shoes on the other foot don't fit them. That's their problem. Sometimes they don't see the truth in shit. That's why I'm trying to raise the percentage of proof in this thing we call life. It's all right if you live in hindsight, but it's hard to live life like you always in the light. Because you know that darkness doesn't always dwell up in the shadows. And putting a battery in your own back is a battle. If you do, people want to say that you ego tripping. But when you die, everybody claim your soul they missing. Don't understand their mission. Up in the wind, they're pissing. Because in the end, you at where you at. Life is pole position. Let that sink in and rewind it and listen to it at your own time, at your own leisure. You feel me? But yeah, that's life. You know what I mean? You get up with people, and some relationships fade. Some you wish don't fade. You know what I mean? And that's just how life goes. And the reason I brought that up, and I'm thinking about that as far as being a better friend. I'm gonna try to get through this one, right? I will, because I'm a G. First of all, was that Henry Ruggs situation from the Raiders. Y'all probably already know about it. Homie was at Top Golf with his fiance, sipping, playing golf, got tippo. Whatever Vegas's legal limit is, I don't know. My other homie was like, yeah, that could be .001. If he was double that, is he really that drunk? So, whatever. But he was. He was sipping and whipping. He was sipping and whipping. Right? Drives home, professional NFL player. Mind you, 22 years old. I know there's no excuse. He's young, right? But come on, man. You were sitting in meetings and signing contracts. You're not just 22. But also, in his defense, been smacking his head into other people for how long now? Probably since he was a little kid. I don't know if he got brain injuries. You know what I mean? He could have a TBI. We don't know, right? Drives, ends up doing 146 reported. Allegedly drove into Shorty at 127 miles an hour. Hit her car. She died and her dog died. Burned alive. That's what I read, right? And rest in peace to her. That sucks. She was young, I think. And the dog died, dog? Come on, man. Right? And then I see like Derek Carr put out, he needs people. I didn't go into the extent of everything, right? But they were talking about it on ESPN radio and all that other shit and what's going to happen with him and this and that. That was an accident. He didn't do that on some, oh, my bad. It's an accident, but he purposely hopped in that whip. You are a professional NFL player. I guarantee you, if you called your team a professional football team, it looks bad optics. Their coach just got fired for being racist and saying some wild shit. And then you get, and you can't be, they need the least attention possible right now. And here he comes and adds that to it, right? But if he called the Raiders and said, yo, I've been sipping, was good, they would have drove over there with 3 people. One would have drove his car to the crib. Him and his wifey would have got into a fucking Maybach, a limo, a Rolls. They would have did whatever. They would have helicoptered his ass to the house if that's what it needed, if that's what needed to be done, right? So there is no excuse, right? I understand everybody makes mistakes. There is a path to redemption. I believe that. There is a path to redemption, right? On some things are inexcusable. But there is a path. There should be a path to redemption. So I'm not knocking him. He made a mistake. No, see, I almost said mistake. That was not a mistake. A mistake is even though it was on purpose, texting and driving. But you were drunk, dog. It was an accident, but you purposely hopped in the whip drunk. I'm not saying I never did it, allegedly, right? But I'm saying it wasn't a mistake. You purposely jumped in the whip. Listen. These are the consequences. This is what happens. You want to sip and whip, and if this happens, you're at fault. There's no, come on, he's 22. He fucked up. He fucked up. And he got to pay the price. There is no pity to that. There is no, I wonder how he's feeling, and Derek Carr's like, he needs people to love him. True, he does. But I hope the rest of the statement said what he did was wrong. Because if Derek Carr didn't say that, I kind of want to say fuck Derek Carr too. And I'm on my cancel me shit, dog. For real, at the end of the day, I love doing this podcast. But I don't give a fuck. Whoever catches feelings, catch feelings, dog. I don't give a fuck. If Derek Carr didn't say that was wrong, fuck Derek Carr too. Because if his sister, mother, daughter got killed by a drunk driver, I want to see if he's going to keep that same energy. Is he going to keep that same energy? You better, motherfucker. Because if you don't keep that same energy, you a fraud, bro. You're a fraud. And the reason why I know it's an accident, but what I'm saying is this. How I started that whole shit with friends and to this, it all ties in. I used to own a skate shop in 2010 in Amboy. There was one day my homie walked in there. I haven't kept in touch with him at the time for a while. It was off and on, but he was my brother. He would shovel while I'm out here gallivanting around South Jersey, chasing cheeks, doing whatever I'm doing. My homie's at my crib shoveling the snow for my mom, which I should have been doing. He's having coffee with my mom, talking to her. He called her, oh, you're like my second mom. You know what I mean? Might as well be first mom, whatever. Yo, so many stories, man. Rest in peace to Jonathan Cruz, man. That's my brother. I reached out to his brother once or twice. I should do that more. See, this all plays into my head, like, how good of a friend am I? Or was I? And all my other homies, am I a good friend to them? Am I a comrade to some? Yeah, I'm busy doing whatever I'm doing, but should I reach out more? Should I not? I don't know. This is what I'm dealing with, and it really just boils down to Jonathan, really. Like, because if he was helping out my mom like that, am I checking up on his kids? I'm not. I don't even know if I processed him not here no more. I kind of put it in the back because I just don't want to process. I don't know, right? But he asked me to go out to Atlantic City that night. Well, the next night. He came in on a Friday, I believe. This is all a little blurry, right? And then he was like, yo, tomorrow let's go, or tonight let's go. And I was at the skate shop. I had my young homies. Now they older, but at the time they were young homies at the skate shop. I was running a skate shop. I had to go film. We were going to New York, right? I was like, I'm clubbed out. I've been clubbing since 15 years old, Jonathan. I'm good. Didn't go. I go to the city with my young homies. We having the time of our lives. I am chilling. I'm in Manhattan at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. A bunch of skaters, a camera. We cooling, right? The next day, I'm sitting in the skate shop and his wifey walks in. Jonathan's wifey walks in. As soon as the whole morning I seen rest in peace Jonathan, and I'm like, yeah, fucking Facebook, who knows, right? And then when I seen his wifey walk in, I was like, it's a wrap. That's the Jonathan they talking about, right? And she just fell down crying, and I was like, yep, 1,000,000%. I already knew, and I was in a state of shock. I didn't even know, like I said, to this day, I haven't processed it. And a lot of thoughts ran in my head. At that present moment, really, I don't even know what I was thinking about right at that time. But as whatever, and time went on, and I don't know if it was the guilt of him always being at my mom Duke's crib and bringing her groceries, and just he just pop up on her. I didn't even know he was there. I couldn't find all this out once he passed, right? So now I'm thinking, I got to step up. I'm going to call his mom. I'm cool with his mom. And I got to check in on her. This is going to go back to the Henry Ruggs situation. Just rock with me, all right? So I didn't know how to process it. And I will say, from what I was told, they went out to AC, to a club. I think they were in his whip. They were sipping at a club. It was him, another family member, a male. I don't want to say their names just because it ain't that whatever. I said his name because that's my brother, and I don't give a fuck. And another one of our homies that we used to all chill together. Well, we chilled. My homie was driving his whip. He was like, yo, I'm beat. Another homie said, I got the wheel. He got behind the wheel and was like, yo, fam, I don't think I got it either. I'm a little tired. I think from what I'm told, casinos put oxygen into the air so you can stay awake. And you feel fine until you go outside. After 15 minutes, you're like, you thought you was fine, but you're not fine. So they decided to find a hotel and crash for the night. Ooh, that's a bad word. Sheesh. They decided to find a hotel and take it down. Never made it to the hotel. Second homie got behind the wheel, fell asleep, wrecked the car. My homie died. His cousin died. My other homie survived, barely. Was in the hospital. He ended up getting 7 years, I think he did. He did 7 years, right? My boy lost his life and my boy's cousin. And that's his comrades. Those are like, they grew up together. It's not like it was some random friend that you met at high school. No, they family. Like, they're homies, they're brothers, they're comrades. And they're gone. He didn't. Survivor's guilt, probably got it. Fact that they passed and he was behind the wheel, he got to deal with that. 7 years, he got to deal with that. He got to face 2 moms that they know him, they fed him. You know what I mean? He got to deal with all that. But and you know what? Hey, it sucks that you got to deal with all that, but y'all knew what it was. Y'all knew what it was. So you did the 7 years. Hey, if I'm in the whip, luckily, they didn't even hit nobody. But if my sister or my girl or whoever was on the highway and they macked into her, bro, arms and legs are coming off. It's eye for an eye. I would want something. I'm not just gonna say, hey, everybody fucks up. Stop with that. If that's the energy you're coming up to this situation with, like, oh, he goofed. Oh, really? Did he goof? Henry Ruggs? He goofed. He goofed? No, he didn't. He fucked up. And he got to deal with it. The same way my homie had to deal with it. I don't say, nah, but he wouldn't want to do that on purpose. It was a mistake. No, go do your 7 years, fam. This is what it is. Because guess what? Whatever time they gave him, or whatever Henry Ruggs is going to deal with, he got to deal with that with himself, his own demons that he's going to have to battle. So you know what? It is what it is. That man is going to deal with it. I'm not giving him no pass. Listen, because if I did it, I wouldn't expect a pass, because I would know I fucked up. And these are the consequences of me fucking up. And if you're not ready to face those consequences, then don't do the action. I'm sorry. Being drunk and saying, shit, I thought I had it. My wheel game's nice. I thought I had it. That's not an excuse. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You know, ignorance of what's right and wrong is not an excuse. So you got to deal with it. You get what I'm saying? So that's that whole Henry Ruggs shit. Let him do his time. He's going to have his own demons to live with for the rest of his life, right? Unless he's a psychopath. But that wasn't a mistake. That wasn't it wasn't an accident, but it wasn't like I wonder why. Like my homie Tanicus Kenny that was on the podcast. We did an episode, but I'm going to hold off on that one because other shit in the world popped off. He was like, listen, when people get caught with a DUI, it's usually not the first time. He said you have one beer and you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't drive, but I got it. Next time you're like, I could do 2 beers. Then you're like, I could do 3 beers. Next thing you know, you a drinking and driving ass motherfucker. You just drink and drive all the time. Because you're like, I got it. I've been had it for years. You know what I mean? I'm on backed up into a car leaving my homie's crib. But whatever. Like, I got it. When really you don't. You get what I'm saying? So this isn't his first time doing that. You get what I mean? So it's like he's going to have to deal with it. And like I said, if Derek Carr didn't say he was wrong, fuck Derek Carr. Word up. So now I wonder, I think to myself, back to the friend thing. Like, if that was me, would I be fine? I would eat it. I feel like I would be like, give me that time. You get what I'm saying? And then I also think like, damn, I should have went. I do carry some guilt. I know it's not on me. I wasn't going to change the world. It's hard to live life like you're always in the light. Hindsight. Yeah. You can't live in hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20, obviously. I know I can't live like that. I don't live like that. But I'm saying the thought still crosses my mind where I should have went. Because few things could have happened. A, I would have got behind the wheel drunk, but I would have made it home. B, I would have said, no. We staying right here. We're not getting in the whip. C, I could have died. D, they all died and I went to jail. A lot of things could have happened, right? So that's why it's not on me. I know it's not on me. I didn't choose. I just feel like maybe if I was there, something would have happened. And who knows? When I see him again in the future, whenever that time comes, hopefully it's 1,000 years from now, but whenever I see him, I'm going to be like, I'm going to apologize. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apologize, be like, yo, my bad. I didn't go. My fault. So that's that. Just, I know it's hard to judge somebody for something that they did because you know it wasn't on purpose. That he didn't set out and say, I'm going to murder these people or I'm going to murder this person. Obviously not. But he fucked up. And if that was your kid, how would you feel? You got to keep that same energy. So in life, you got to keep that energy. If you're allowed to change, obviously, but if you say one thing once, that's why you got to really listen to what you're saying. Especially if you're putting it out there, you got to stick to your guns. And that leads me into Astro World. Rest in peace to all the people that passed. That sucks. Few things. I'm going to get through this episode quick. The main thing, my homie hit me up, who shall remain confidential because of his employment. Once he retires, I keep saying this, once he retires, we going to get it popping. But he was like, yo, you seen this shit though? The stage looked like this. It's a little this. It's a little weird. Some Satan shit. Not really. He didn't say that. It's like some portal shit he was saying. I didn't think he was crazy because I don't know. I was like, let me look into it. And every fucking video I watched had a religious spin to it. It was like Christian YouTubers, dog. Talk about Travis Scott is satanic and demonic and this and that, and like it's the Illuminati and Masons, and I find Jesus in your life and alcohol. I'm like, whoa, how the fuck did we get there? You get what I'm saying? Like, he's at a concert. He's done this before. It's just a marketing thing. This is his shit. This is what he does. He fucking tells people to jump the fence, don't pay for your tickets, hurry up and come over here. You're fucking stuck in this show. You know what I mean? Emo, dark rap, whatever you want to call it. It's what he does. What'd you expect different? And then, he rapped for 30 minutes and saw people. Bro, he was probably high, drunk, whatever. People, I don't know if I did talent shows in high school. Shout out to the ill ones and Uptown Breakers, baby. After the first row, you don't see anybody. And I was completely sober. First row, after that, all you see is lights. You don't even know what the fuck is beyond them lights. It's first, second row starts to fade, third row is gone. Good night for the rest. And this is in an auditorium. Imagine outdoors. You got fucking lights and fucking music, and you're performing, trying to remember bars in your set list. And no excuse, right? He's going to have to deal with it. His lawyers and whatever's going to deal with it. But to go the religious route and demonic, and I'm like, okay, here we go with the cancel me shit. Okay, Christian YouTuber. Now, are you doing the Lord's work? Are you doing the Lord's work on YouTube? Is that what you think you're doing? I hate social media preachers. That shit is getting to me. Social media preachers? Woo, that's a whole nother podcast. Listen, everything comes back to that. I'm like, you're on YouTube getting clicks and views. Is that what God wants? Is that what? Because you're spreading the message. Okay. What are you doing with all your bread? What are you doing with your YouTube revenue? Are you donating that to the church? Put that out there. Instead of telling me that Travis Scott is the devil. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Stop with that shit. You know why? Because just like anything else, just like his emo shit sells, just like Travis Scott rush the stage and be wild shit sells, guess what? Jesus sells. Whoever doesn't believe that Jesus is a commodity to certain people, he is a commodity to certain people. Christianity, Islam, religion in general, religion sells. It makes money. Look at Joel Osteen and his big ass church, and Creflo Dollar, whatever his name is, with his, I need a G5 instead of a G4 plane so I can reach more people because Jesus wants me to have it. Okay? Shut up. Stop it. And these Sunday morning evangelists preaching, and they give you liquid, first of all, they hit you in the forehead and you fucking whatever. And then they give you buy holy water to cure the coronavirus? Bro, that's some cult shit. That's cult shit. I don't care the message. And they're like, don't pay attention to that. Just listen to the message. Fuck out of here. Do it in reverse then. Don't listen to Travis Scott's message, right? It's just the energy, whatever. Don't listen to the bars. It's not that. It's the experience of being in a concert and fire and woo. You're going to talk about this like Rolling Stones back in the day, or Jimi Hendrix, or some wild shit, Janis Joplin. You could do that too. So all of a sudden, Travis Scott is a devil and you out here doing your preaching and this and shut the fuck up. And then, this is what, I drove by a church today. The sign said, stop texting, start praying. Or stop texting, try praying. So my thought went to, okay, but what if I am texting prayers to my friends? Is that allowed? Because you didn't clarify it in the sign. You just said, stop texting, try praying. How does that church know that all I text are prayers and psalms and gospels and passages to my friends? Right? Oh, it's okay if you text about Jesus. Just don't text about anything else. So when I read that sign, I felt like, oh, my bad. You get me? Like, what, anybody who's text, the kids, all they do is text and don't pray? I know a lot of people that pray and text. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. Like, it's just, religion is weird to me. It is super. And I went to Catholic school my whole life, all the way up to 8th grade. My mom still goes to church. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that there isn't. I don't care what religion you practice. I don't even care if you want to tell people like, hey, listen, God is the way. But when you tell people that if they don't find God, they're damned, and all this unsave your souls and the social media and marking the beast, and you're using social media. You're using the beast to get your message across. And then my thing is, also, once again, this is cancel me season, dog. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to do this podcast. I love this shit. I love doing it. But I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And yeah, I'm cursing. I don't care. I don't care, bro. It's AWOL podcast. You already know. To this day, I'm keeping it funky out here. You know what I'm saying? But you're using social media to say how social media is bad. We all know, but it's too much. Cool out. It's too much. It is too much. Go out in the streets and do the good work. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to read that. I don't. That's my personal opinion. To some people might. And you know what? That might get them through the day. So you know what? Keep doing it. See what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just saying, don't forget that a lot of people know a lot of these people who they were before compared to who they are now and who they're gonna be. People will see these days. You're putting it out there. It's gonna be seen, right? Unless you delete everything. I'm just saying, there's a market for everything. There's a market for Travis Scott and there's a market for Jesus. Either way, there's a market for both. So therefore, if you're going to pass judgment, be sure that when you pass judgment, that you have nothing to be judged on. And guess what? There will always be something for you to be judged on. It is impossible to live a perfect life. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes every single day. Every day I look back when I get to the crib and do my little breakdown. And I'm like, oof, I could have did that better. I fucked up there. You know what I'm saying? Self-reevaluation. I'm like, every day towards the end, I do that. I'm like, fuck. Shout out to my medicine woman. Right? I think about shit like that. So at the end of the day, it's nighttime. Go to sleep. Rest in peace, Sean Price. But at the end of the day, mess ups are mess ups. You got to deal with your consequences. It is what it is. 2, when it comes to religion and all that, just literally sit back and, or even not religion, but anything you're doing, sit back and really think about it. Like, am I that righteous? In anything. Am I that righteous? Am I correct? Am I doing like a double standard here? It's kind of ironic. Am I being ironic? Right? Do that. And 3, be a good friend. Sit back, maybe call a homie you haven't talked to. Whatever. Just call a family member. Just reach out. And don't put too much pressure on yourselves. It is what it is, right? Life is life. I just had to come in here and talk my shit. I'm going to be talking more shit. My bad for the sporadic episodes, but like I said, I thought I was over being jaded. I'm still kind of jaded on this. I love doing it. I'm going to continue to do it. Thank you for everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, and rocking with me. AWOL podcast. You already know what it is. Y'all be safe and love yourselves. Nah, I mean, and I'm out of here. Peace.